For a third time this week, a Washington deputy or police officer has been shot on the job. This time, it's happening in southeastern Washington. We're learning that the officer will survive their injuries. Police out in Pasco say the officer was tracking a reckless driver. When he caught up with them at a Circle K, they approached the car. That's when they were shot. The officer is being treated for a non-life-threatening injury. The suspect tried to drive away, causing a police chase that eventually ended with a Benton County deputy shooting that suspect. We are working to learn the condition of the suspect, but so far, we have no details on how they're doing.
Meantime, the investigation continues into Wednesday's deadly police shooting in Everett. Officer Chad House was shot in the head while responding to a robbery. Another officer shot and killed the suspect. Officer House was released from the hospital yesterday. Then back on Monday, King County Detective David Easterly was shot in the chest while serving an eviction in Ballard. He remains in the hospital in critical condition. The tenant died of a self-inflicted gunshot wound.
Well, Fox 13's Frankie Thompson is joining us. She's been talking with a nonprofit that's been pushing for policy changes that would better protect police.
Washington Council of Police and Sheriffs represents 5,000 members in law enforcement statewide, and that includes King County Detective David Easterly, who is still here at Harborview Medical Center fighting for his life after being shot in the chest Monday. The council's director says laws need to be updated to help prevent things like this from happening. 5 officers in Washington have been shot in the line of duty this year: Puyallup, Shoreline, Seattle, Everett, and Pasco. As members in law enforcement answer the call to protect and serve, there's question if enough is being done to protect them.
These are dangerous jobs. These are unfortunately dangerous times, and what we would continue to work on behalf of our members to achieve is a more balanced narrative coming from our state, and a reminder to community that you do need to follow lawful orders, and police officers have a right to defend themselves.
Teresa Taylor is the executive director of Washington Council of Police and Sheriffs. The nonprofit is actively involved in the legislative process, making sure laws are appropriate for the needs of the state and for law enforcement. But Taylor says right now there seems to be a divide.
Our state has legislators that I think are very committed to making sure that law enforcement are held accountable for their tremendous amount of responsibility and authority, and there's nothing wrong with that. The issues we have really stem from the manner in which our legislature has been addressing and or changing the laws as they relate to the job that police officers do and how they're able to protect the public, but also, frankly, how they themselves are respected and protected in the process as well.
Respect and protection for members in law enforcement is at concerning levels in Taylor's opinion. She says there has been a noticeable shift in public safety over the past 2 years, partially due to the state's reform laws. Combine that with officers getting hurt on the job, she fears it will make it harder to recruit and retain members to the force.
Now we have just exacerbated the problem. It not only makes it difficult to keep officers, but it makes it very challenging to recruit them. What we would certainly hope is that our state does not make the mistake of lowering standards as a way to solve that problem. We need to maintain high standards, but we need to create an environment where these young professionals want to come and work, that they feel they'll be protected and respected.
Taylor says in the last 2 years, Washington has lost about 600 officers. She says she and the council will continue advocating for measures that will improve conditions for law enforcement, including recruiting efforts. Reporting in Seattle, Frankie Thompson, Fox 13 News.